Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes on a very chilly start to this Friday with temperatures down near or below freezing in many areas. And these freeze warnings that were up overnight are going to disappear shortly. And the next focus of attention will be some winter weather advisories. Now, we do have some up actually at the moment in parts of northeastern Illinois, down into northern Indiana, northwest Ohio, southernmost Michigan. Those will gradually disappear later today and this evening. And then as that system moves to the east, we have winter weather advisories starting to go up for a few counties in northern Pennsylvania and also on the other side of the border on the New York side in southern New York across into the Catskills. This includes, by the way, Sullivan and parts of Ulster County. Then it takes a jump over the Hudson Valley. You get to Route 87, and then we start to see some more winter weather advisories that are up for northern Connecticut, mainly north of Route 84, and into Massachusetts and southern New Hampshire and Vermont. And this is going to be for this weather system that's coming in for late today into Saturday morning. The folks at the Weather Prediction Center showing you the probability of at least 2 inches, and you can see where the salmon and pink colors begin. This is where you're talking about 80% probability of or higher of at least two, and in the darker blue. That's where your probability starts picking up to about 40%. Much of the precipitation here is going to fall at night, so it's likely to stick on most surfaces, including road surfaces up in this area. But the southern cutoff seems to be actually well north and west of Route 84. I think that's where you're going to see probably the most vulnerability out of this. It's a late season event. It will play out like late season events play out. If it snows at night, it tends to accumulate. And then once we get past sunrise tomorrow and the storm system pulls away and skies start to brighten up later in the day, you'd be surprised how quickly the snow evaporates. Meanwhile, we're looking at and melts, by the way, also. As we look at the satellite loop, we had clear skies. We are going to see these clouds to the west coming in. Notice, by the way, we pointed out yesterday, there's not a whole lot. There's no real involvement here from the Gulf of Mexico. There'll be some limited Atlantic moisture that'll get involved, but there's no real involvement here from the Gulf of Mexico. I do want to point out for areas outside the Northeast, pay attention to the fact that you do have another one of these weather systems that's coming into Southern California that's going to be moving eastward. You're starting to see some tropical moisture and subtropical moisture coming out of the Pacific and moving into the Gulf states. It won't really have a big impact until we get to Sunday, where I think you're going to see a potential for a widespread severe weather outbreak across the Gulf states again. And this is something I think we're going to talk about more later today and tonight on our Joe and Joe Weather Show. And of course, we'll watch that over the weekend. As to radar this morning, not a whole lot happening. The Northeast is very quiet, as is fairly obvious up and down the coast, but you start to see the precip from this low that has moved out of the Central Plains and is shooting straight to the east. Not too much happening on the surface map yet. We've got weak high pressure overhead, low pressure in southern Missouri that's going to be pushing straight east and eventually just finding its way off the Delmarva Peninsula, and then it will move on to the east. Let's just really quick go through the severe weather threats. There are no risk areas today from the Storm Prediction Center. Tomorrow we have two small areas, one a marginal risk in eastern North Carolina, and then a developing area of marginal risk northeast Texas into Arkansas, Mississippi, and northwest Louisiana. And this is the area for Sunday. This large area of slight risk and an area of enhanced risk that runs from southeast Texas eastward to coastal South Carolina and coastal Georgia. So this covers a lot of territory here, and there's You got that enhanced risk, and then you have the slight, and the marginal risk makes it up into southern parts of North Carolina and to the Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi state line. And that's what we're going to be paying attention to over the weekend. And of course, you can see what the Weather Prediction Center folks are talking about in terms of rainfall. That there could be some 5-inch plus rains in that area. If you look at that enhanced risk for Sunday, it matches up pretty well. There's your enhanced risk for Sunday, and there's your max area of rainfall. Here from northern Virginia to southern New England, we're looking at rainfall amounts over the next 7 days. So this includes a weather system for Sunday night into Monday morning, producing in total anywhere from about an inch to an inch and a half. And by the way, this also includes a weather system that's coming for the middle of next week. So this is kind of divided up into several systems. So here's the first one. Clouding up today. There'll be a cold rain for most areas for Pennsylvania, New Jersey, southern New England, and points southward for late today and tonight. Northern Pennsylvania into upstate New York, and then eventually into interior southern and central New England. You're going to see some wet snow. Probably starts off as snow right along Route 84, and then goes over to rain, and then our low moves away to the east. Still might see some leftover precip tomorrow morning around daybreak, but it should be mostly gone by early afternoon. Weather conditions will improve into Sunday. Sunday, we could see temperatures climb up into the 60s before this cold front arrives. And then you can see this low. This is our severe weather producer for the southeast come Sunday into Sunday night. Low pressure off the North Carolina coast. It skims the coastline with some rain late Sunday night into Monday morning, and then pulls away to the northeast. And then we've got an interesting cold front coming through late in the day Tuesday that models are showing an area of convective development ahead of that front. And there's some rather chilly air behind it in stark contrast. There's also a strong short wave that's going to be moving this along. So there might be some showers and maybe even a couple of thunderstorms late in the day on Tuesday. And we'll finish it off with snowfall forecast totals from the Weather Service. And I really don't have too much of a problem with this. So we're looking at, you see where the southern edge of a coating to maybe an inch. It gets down into northeastern Pennsylvania, right along the New York state line. You've got some 2, 3, 4-inch amounts. That's all going to be elevation driven. And the same holds true once you go north and west of Route 84, particularly in Connecticut, northwest Connecticut up the Berkshires, 2 to maybe as much as 5 inches there, and 2 to 4 inches across much of Massachusetts. From northern Connecticut on up into southernmost Vermont and New Hampshire, kind of on the edge of this. So that's pretty much it as far as our weather goes. To take you through the weekend and the next week, we'll have that rain to deal with for most of you for tonight into tomorrow morning. Weather conditions improve after that. Much of Sunday should be okay. Couple of showers or maybe even a period of rain along the coast Sunday night into Monday morning, followed by improving weather conditions later in the day on Monday. Then here comes another cold front with some showers and storms on Tuesday. Joe and Joe Weather Show tonight at 7 o'clock on my YouTube channel, Joe Cioffi, so be sure to join in, and we'll see you later. Have a great day.